All right, it's time for the good stuff and for some really special guests. Do you remember Lisa Fine and Brian Claypool? You should. We spoke to them during our coverage of the Las Vegas shooting that next morning. Lisa and Brian, thank God they survived. They then decided they had to do something with the experience. So they founded the nonprofit Route91Strong to help other survivors. And they've been doing things. They got together, did this quickly also. They've been raising money and now issuing their first checks to those affected by the shooting. Lisa and Brian join us now. It's so good to see you both. We've only been talking on the phone. I've never worked harder to get people on this show than I have with the two of you because you've been so busy. But thank God for your efforts. I know it matters to you both personally because it's helping you process what happened, but you're giving back to the people who need it. So, Lisa, tell me what you've done, what it has meant to you, and then we'll get to what's next.
Yeah, we have pulled together a team of survivors and incredible experts and professionals to bring together Route 91 Strong and funds to catch people that are falling through the cracks, that are, you know, survivors that went through exactly what we went through. And we are on a mission of support, hope, strength, change, and love. And we gave our first checks out, and it was the most, probably the biggest extraordinary experience I've ever personally had, to work so hard to make a difference for others and not let people fall. That was the biggest thing.
Good for you, Lisa. Brian, how much have you raised? How much do you want to raise?
Well, Chris, we've raised, I think, a little over $30,000 right now, but that is just a drop in the bucket for what we plan on raising. We've got another benefit concert coming up in June, on June 27th, here in Hollywood, and then Lisa and I and other board members are going to be approaching corporations, corporate sponsors in the next 6 months or so. And this is a lifelong mission, Chris. This isn't just an aberration for Vegas victims. This is going to last a lifetime. Constant fundraising and impacting people in a positive way.
Smart move. We see a lot of corporate citizens wanting to step up now and getting involved with some of the direct and indirect issues that are presented in these shootings. Lisa, back to you. What kinds of needs are you seeing? What did you expect and what did you not expect?
Yeah, when we first got our applicants applying, it was clear to me that a lot of the survivors, what was happening is post-traumatic stress, complete shock, trauma, which Brian and I know all too well. And our first check was really special because there was a woman, her name's Collie, and she was pregnant at the event, and she had to scale a 10-foot wall while being shot at to survive. She had a 2-year-old at home. She was a single mom. After this event, she couldn't work. She was literally bedridden and basically giving up. And she was one of our first recipients of our checks. And we just said, we are not going to let you fall. We are family now. And we ended up making sure that she had her bills paid for, that she could just have that baby and relax and just let her know that we are family and we're not going to let anything take away that, you know, joy of having that baby after surviving such a tragic event.
How's the baby?
The baby's not here yet, so
I'm saying,
we're
but everything's
waiting.
going well with the pregnancy? Everything's good so far?
The baby is fine. The pregnancy is fine, and you can imagine the stress on her.
Yeah,
We
that's
just
why
wanted
I'm
to make
asking.
sure that we carried her. Yeah, thank you for asking and caring about that. Many of the survivors we've given checks to are so special because they tell us they want to help out. They want to support us supporting other survivors. So we're basically survivors helping survivors.
And Lisa, what is it doing for you personally? I know you're still processing and you have to do it. You lived through some really horribly frightening moments that night. You were very aware that you were lucky to escape. What does this work do for you?
Yeah. You know, I felt like getting a second chance at life. I had to do something really big with my life, and this really is healing, and I just know that we're here for a purpose and a reason, and I want to be the voice of people, as well as, like, if that was the night that I died, I would hope somebody would be that voice for me and want to make a difference for the world. You know, bringing hope, support, change, strength, and love is the biggest thing for me for the rest of my life. That is what my focus will be with my team. My team is incredible. They work tirelessly. They are just, I mean, they have full-time jobs and they're putting hours and hours into this. So we're really excited about other survivors helping survivors, pulling together to make the world a better place.
Brian, you know, when we met, you were dealing with some heavy questions. about why you're still here and what you would do with this opportunity and what this event would mean going forward. Now we just lived through another one. What have you come up with for yourself in terms of answers?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you publicly, Chris. I've never done that. You were incredible covering the Vegas shooting. You were very heartfelt and genuine, and that meant a lot to Lisa and I. And you brought Lisa and I together that day, if you recall.
No, you brought yourselves together. You both. This is very nice of you. Thank you very much. We're happy to do the job. But you guys had commonalities. You had a shared sense of purpose, and sometimes horrible things even happen for a reason. And you guys came together, and you're helping other lives. That's what matters. Have you answered any of these tougher questions? Because I'd love to know the answers myself.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. I'm still very angry about the shooting, and as I was dodging bullets and saying to myself, hearing these automatic weapons, pop, 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 I could still hear them. I said to myself, man, if I do live, I have got to do something to eliminate assault weapons. Because I'll tell you, Chris, and then Parkland happened. I didn't sleep for 3 nights. I could not sleep because I felt the helplessness of those kids in the classrooms, the administrators. We have no chance against assault weapons. Make no mistake about it. I saw your prior guest talking about, well, let me look at the proposal for gun control. Let me speak to the country on this, and for myself, as a survivor, you have no chance when you're in a shooting where there's an assault weapon. And Chris, I'm telling you, if we don't get gun reform then through legislators, then they're going to have blood. They already have blood on their hands, in my opinion. But then we've got to go through the private sector, like Dick's Sporting Goods, and I'm going to start calling distributors, retailers. That's going to be my next mission. I personally will call these companies and ask them to not sell assault weapons. And one last point. I read an article over the weekend, stunning. A lot of people don't know that these bullets that are used in these assault weapons, they are so much more devastating and destructive to your bodies. It's what's called yawing. They go into your body, Chris, and they go to the side, and they explode inside of your body. Now, I'm still angry because we live in a society. We purport to the world that we are the most civilized society in the world, but we're not. We are not, because we allow people access to these destructive weapons and this destructive ammunition that does nothing but ruin lives. It has to stop.
Well, it's a big fight. And I keep telling people who are doing this, politicians, many of them are good men and women, but the way their system is designed is they don't often act out of conscience. They act out of consequence. And if things don't change in terms of who votes on this issue and who doesn't, you're not going to see a lot of legislative change. But we made you a promise that day when we met you. And I say we because it's not about me. It's about our team. It's about our reporters. You deserve to be heard. Your efforts warrant being reported on, and that will not end. I will continue bothering you on your texts. Don't try to duck from me. I will find you, Lisa Page and Brian Claypool. Do you understand me? I will always find you. Thank you for your beautiful efforts. Keep us in the loop about what you're doing next. You're helping the right people. Thank you for being with us this morning. God bless.
Thanks, Chris.
God bless.
All right, Erica.